kings east of the Jordan River who had been killed and whose land was taken. Their territory extended from the Arnon Gorge to Mount Hermon and included all the land east of the Jordan Valley. King Sihon of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, was defeated. His kingdom included Aroer on the edge of Arnon Gorge and extended from the middle of the Arnon Gorge to the Jabbok River, which serves as a boundary for the Ammonites. This territory included half of the present area of Gilead, which lies north of the Jabbok River. Sihon also controlled the Jordan Valley as far north as the western shores of the Sea of Galilee and as far south as the Dead Sea, from Beth Jeshimoth to the slopes of Pisgah. King Og of Bashan, the last of the Rephites, lived at Ashroth and Edrei. He ruled a territory stretching from Mount Hermon to Salcath in the north and to all of Bashan in the east, and westward to the boundaries of the kingdom of Geshur and Makath. His kingdom included the northern half of Gilead, the other portion of which was in the territory of King Sihon of Heshbon. Moses, the servant of the Lord, and the Israelites had destroyed the people of King Sihon and King Og, and Moses gave their land to the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and the half-tribe of Manasseh. The following is a list of the kings Joshua and the Israelite armies defeated on the west side of the Jordan from Baal-Gad in the valley of Lebanon to Mount Halak, which leads up to Seir. Joshua allotted his land to the tribes of Israel as their inheritance, including the hill country, the western foothills, the Jordan Valley, the mountain slopes, the Judean wilderness, and the Negev. The people who lived in this region were the Hittites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. These are the kings Israel defeated: the king of Jericho, the king of Ai near Bethel, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon, the king of Gezer, the king of Debir, the king of Zedar, the king of Hormuth, the king of Arad, the king of Libnah, the king of Adullam, the king of Makdah, the king of Bethel, the king of Tapua, the king of Hepher, the king of Aphek, the king of Lasharon, the king of Madon, the king of Hazor, the king of Shimrah Meron, the king of Ashap, the king of Tanakh, the king of Tanakh, the king of Kadesh, the king of Jokneam in Carmel, the king of Dor in the city of Nabhorthdor, the king of Goyim in Gilgal, the king of Tirzah. In all, 31 kings and their cities were destroyed. When Joshua was an old man, the Lord said to him, "You are growing old, and much land remains to be conquered. The Lord still needs to occupy the land of the Philistines and the Gershites, territory that belongs to the Canaanites. This land extends from the stream of Shihor, which is on the border of Egypt, northward to the boundary of Ekron, and includes the 5 Philistine cities of Gaza, Ashdod, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron. The land of the Avites in the south also remains to be conquered. In the north, this area has not yet been conquered. All the land of the Canaanites include Merith, which belongs to the Sidonians, stretching northward to the Aphek on the border of the Amorites, the land of the Gibeonites, and all of the Lebanon mountain area to the east, from Baal-Gad beneath Mount Hermon to Lebo Hamath, and all the hill country from Lebanon to Misrespoth-Maim, including all the land of Sidonian. I will drive these people out of the land for the Israelites, so be sure to give this land to Israel as a special possession, just as I have commanded you. Include all this territory as Israel's inheritance when you divide the land among the 9 tribes and the half-tribe of Manasseh. Half the tribe of Manasseh and the tribes of Reuben and Gad had already received their inheritance on the east side of the Jordan, for Moses, the servant of the Lord, had previously assigned this land to them. Their territory extended from Ar-or on the edge of the Arnon Gorg, including the town in the middle of the Gorg, to the plain beyond Medeba, as far as Dibon. It also included all the towns of King Sihon of the Amorites, whose region in Heshbon, and extended as far as the borders of Ammon. It included Gilead, the territory of the kings of Geshur and Maacah, all of the mountain Hermon, all of Bashan as far as Selka, and all the territory of King Og of Bashan, who reigned in Ashtaroth and Edrei. King Og was the last of the Rephites, for Moses had attacked them and driven them out. But the Israelites failed to drive out the people of Geshur and Maacah, so they continued to live among the Israelites to this day. Moses did not assign any land to the tribe of Levi. Instead, as the Lord had promised them, their inheritance came from the offerings burnt on the altar to the Lord, the God of Israel. Moses had assigned the following area to the families of the tribe of Reuben. Their territory extended from Ar-or on the edge of the Arnon Gorg, including the town in the middle of the Gorg, to the plain beyond Medeba. It included Heshbon and other towns on the plain, Dibon, Bamothbal, Bethbal-meon, Jahaz, Kedemoth, Mepath, Kiriathim, Sibma, Zereth-Shahor, on the hill above the valley, Beth Peor, the slope of Pisgah, the Beth Jeshimoth. The land of Reuben also included all the towns of the plain and the entire kingdom of Sihon. Sihon was the Amorite king who had reigned in Heshbon and was killed by Moses along with the chiefs of Midian, Evi, Rekem, Zur-Hur, and Reba, princesses living in the region who were aligned with Sihon. The Israelites also killed Balaam the magician, the son of Beor. The Jordan River marked the western boundary for the tribe of Reuben. The towns and the villages in this area were given as an inheritance to the families of the tribe of Reuben. Moses had assigned the following areas to the families of the tribe of Gad. Their territories included Jazer, all the towns of Gilead, and half of the land of Ammon, as far as the town of Aor, just west of Rabbah. It extended from Heshbon to Ramath-Mizpeth and Betanim, and from Mahanaim to Lo-debar. In the valley were Beth-haram, Beth-nimrah, Sukkoth, Zappoth, and the rest of the kingdom of King Sihon of Heshbon. The Jordan River was the western bordered, extending as far north as the Sea of Galilee. The towns and the villages in this area were given as an inheritance to the families of the tribe of Gad. Moses had assigned the following areas to the families of the half-tribe of Manasseh. Their territories extended from Mahanaim, including all of Bashan, all the former kingdom of King Og, and the 60 towns of Jar in Bashan. It also included half of the Gilead and King Og's royal cities of Asheroth and Edrei. All of this was given to the descendants of Machir, who was Manasseh's son. Those are the allotments Moses had made while he was on the plains of Moab across the Jordan River east of Jericho. But Moses gave no land to the tribe of Levi, for the Lord, the God of Israel, had promised to be their inheritance. The remaining tribes of Israel inherited land in Canaan as allotted by Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the tribal leaders. These 9.5 tribes received their inheritance by means of scattered lots in accordance with the Lord's command through Moses. Moses had already given an inheritance of land to the 2.5 tribes on the east side of the Jordan River. The tribe of Joseph had become 2 separate tribes, Manasseh and Ephraim. And the Levites were given no land at all, only towns to live in, and the surrounding pasture lands for their flocks and herds. So the distribution of the land was in strict accordance with the Lord's instructions to Moses. A delegation from the tribe of Judah, led by Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, came to Joshua at Gilgal. Caleb said to Joshua, "Remember what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, about you and me when we were at Kadesh Barnea. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to explore the land of Canaan. I returned and gave from my heart a good report, but my brothers who went with me frightened the people and discouraged them from entering the promised land. For my part, I followed the Lord my God completely. So that day Moses promised me, the land of Canaan on which you were just walking will be your special possession, and that of your descendants forever, because you wholeheartedly followed the Lord my God. Now, as you can see, the Lord has kept me alive and well as he promised for all these 40 years since." Moses made this promise even while Israel wandered in the wilderness. Today, I am 85 years old. I am as strong now as I was when Moses sent me on the journey, and I can still travel and fight as well as I could then. So I am asking you to give me the hill country that the Lord promised me. You will remember that as a scout, we found the Anakites living there in great walled cities. But if the Lord is with me, I will drive them out of the land, just as the Lord said. So Joshua blessed Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and gave Hebron to him as an inheritance. Hebron still belongs to the descendants of Caleb, son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, because he wholeheartedly followed the Lord, the God of Israel. Previously, Hebron had been called Kiriath Arba. It had been named after Arba, a great hero of the Anakites, and the land had rest from war. The land assigned to the families of the tribe of Judah reached southward to the border of Edom, with the wilderness of Zin being its southernmost point. The southern boundary began at the south bay of the Dead Sea, ran south of Scorpion Pass into the wilderness of Zin, and went south of Kadesh Barnea to Hezron. Then it went up to Adar, where it turned towards Karka. From there it passed to Asmon until it finally reached the brook of Egypt, which it followed to the Mediterranean Sea. This was their southern boundary. The eastern boundary extended along the Dead Sea to the mouth of the Jordan River. The northern boundary began at the bay where the Jordan River empties into the Dead Sea, crossed to Beth Hogla, then proceeded north of Beth Araboth to the stone of Bohan. Bohan was Reuben's son. From that point, it went through the valley of Acre to Debir, turning north towards Gilgal, which is across from the slopes of Adumah on the south side of the valley. From there, the border extended to the springs of En Shemesh and on to En Rogel, The boundary then passed through the valley of the son of Hinnom, along the southern slopes of the Jebusites, where the city of Jerusalem is located. Then it went west to the top of the mountain above the valley of Hinnom, and on up to the northern end of the valley of Rephaim. From there, the border extended from the top of the mountain to the spring at the waters of Nephtoah, and from there to the towns on Mount Ephron. Then it turned towards Bala, that is Kiriath-jearim. The border circled west of Bala to Mount Seir, passed along to the town of Keshalon on the northern slope of Mount Jearim, and went down to Beth Shemesh and on to Timnah. The boundary line then proceeded to the slope of the hill north of Ekron, where it turned towards Shikkeron and Mount Bala. It passed Jabneel and ended at the Mediterranean Sea. The western boundary was the shoreline of the Mediterranean Sea. These are the boundaries for the families of the tribe of Judah. The Lord instructed Joshua to assign some of Judah's territory to Caleb, son of Jephunneh. So Caleb was given the city of Arba, that is Hebron, which has been named after Anak's ancestors. Caleb drove out the 3 Anakites, Sheshai, Iman, and Talmai, descendants of Anak. Then he fought against the people living in the town of Debir, formerly called Kiriath-Sepher. Caleb said, I will give my daughter Aisha in marriage to one who attacks and captures Kiriath-Sepher. Othniel, the son of Caleb's brother, Kenaz, was the one who conquered it. So Asha became Othniel's wife. When Asha married Othniel, she urged him to ask her father for an additional field. As she got down off her donkey, Caleb asked her, What is it? What can I do for you? She said, Give me further blessings. You have been kind enough to give me land in the Negev. Please give me springs as well. So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. That was the inheritance given to the family of the tribe of Judah. The towns of Judah situated along the borders of Edom in the extreme south are Kabzeel, Eder, Jagur, Kinnah, Dimonah, Adah, Kadesh, Hazor, Ithnan, Ziph, Telem, Baloth, Hazor Hadath, Kiroth Hezron, that is Hazor, Amah, Shema, Moladah, Hazar Gaddah, Heshmon, Beth Pelet, Hazar Shual, Beersheba, Biziothea, Baal, Iam, Ezem, Eltolad, Kishil, Hormah, Ziglah, Madmannah, Sana, Leboth, Shilhim, Ain, and Rimmon. In all, there were 29 of these towns with their surrounding villages. The following towns situated in the western foothills were also given to Judah: Eshtaol, Zorah, Ashna, Zanol, En-Gannim, Tapu, Enam, Jarmuth, Adullam, Shoal, Azekah, Saaraim, Adathaim, Gederah, and Gerdotheim. In all, there were 14 towns with their surrounding villages. Also included were Zena, Hadash, Migdal-Gad, Delin, Mizpeh, Joktheel, Lashin, Bozkath, Eglon, Carbon, Lama, Kitlish, Gederoth, Beth Dagon, Nam, and Makkedah, 16 towns with their surrounding villages. Besides these, there were Libnah, Eder, Ashan, Iptah, Ashna, Nezib, Keilah, Azib, and Marshah. 9 towns with their surrounding villages. The territory of the tribe of Judah also included all the towns and villages of Akron. From Akron, the boundary extended west and included the towns near Ashdod with the surrounding villages. It also included Ashdod with its town and villages, and Gaza with its towns and villages, as far as the brook of Egypt and along the coast of the Mediterranean Sea. Judah also received the following towns in the hill country: Shamir, Jadir, Sok, Dana, Kirasana, that is Debir, Anab, Estemoth, Anim, Goshen, Holon, and Giloth. 11 towns with their surrounding villages. Also included were the towns of Arab, Duma, Ashan, Janim, Beth Tapu, Aphekah, Humtah, Kirath Arba, that is Hebron, and Zor. 9 towns with their surrounding villages. Besides these, there were Maon, Carmel, Zilph, Judah, Jezreel, Jokdeam, Zanoah, Cain, Gibeah, and Timnah, 10 towns with their surrounding villages. In addition, there were Halhol, Bethzer, Gedor, Marath, Bethanath, and Eltikon, 6 towns with their surrounding villages. There were also Kiriath Baal, that is Kiriath Jearim, and Rabbah, 2 towns with their surrounding villages. In the wilderness, there were the towns of Beth Arba, Middin, Sikaka, Nibshan, the city of Salt, and En Gedi, 6 towns with their surrounding villages. But the tribe of Judah could not drive out the Jebusites who lived in the city of Jerusalem, so the Jebusites lived there among the people of Judah to this day. And that is the end of 15. So pray that you are blessed, although I could not enunciate these words. I do pray that you are blessed.